Gillian, thank you. Now, Ed Miliband will use a speech today to accuse the government of ignoring 1 million young people who've fallen off the voting register because of the way changes to the way people sign up. Now, the Labour leader says David Cameron and Nick Clegg are short-changing the future of hundreds of thousands of people. Well, here at Sky News, we're giving young people the chance to have their say on politics with our Stand Up Be Counted forum. Let's talk to two of those taking part, Danny Bartlett and Michael Adams. Morning to you both.
Morning.
What do you make of what Ed Miliband is saying as a general premise? The idea that young people are being ignored, if they're being left out of the equation a little bit. Danny?
Yeah, I mean, they're certainly been ignored. I mean, it's 7.3 million young people in the country, and I think largely most of them are unrepresented at that higher political level. But I think the million voters left out that he's equating to, I mean, the old electoral system, register system, didn't work last time when it was the head of the household registering voters. It's not about these 1 million people, it's about political literacy in our country, which is appalling. And I think what's in an even worse state is political education within schools. The reason why a lot of these people are apathetic is because they've not been given that political literacy, those lessons in how to be an informed, active citizen. And I think that that's really the core of the issue.
How difficult has it been, Michael, for you then, under those circumstances, to get involved in politics? Because certainly what we've seen with Stand Up Be Counted is that actually a lot of young people, like yourself, actually want to get involved, want to show their interest and have their say.
I think lots of young people have their own views, their own opinions. I think that's why social media is such a big thing now, is because people can sort of just instantly put their views out there. And that's what politics is. It's your view on an issue. And I think a lot of people have these views, but they feel disengaged by major parties. And I think with this sort of education system that we're talking about, it's about giving people the understanding of what they actually think about politics and how they can affect it.
So, Danny, you think that young people simply aren't informed enough, that they don't know enough about the issues, but they do actually want to know?
Yeah, there's so many people out there. I mean, we were talking in the green room about how many people that have a relationship with politics. You don't actually mention the word politics and actually say, well, what's wrong with society? And they'll start really getting passionate about it. But the problem is that last year, for example, less than 100,000 young people took the citizenship education lesson, which is the only lesson on the national curriculum that actually teaches the fundamentals of how to be an informed citizen. And the problem is that it's not statutory, so they don't have to do it. And that's the biggest issue. If you're not being politicised at home or between your friends, where are you going to get your political education from?
Is it beneficial being a political target in the way that obviously the Labour Party is trying to establish today with the voter registration system? Does it help you, Michael, thinking that you are at least in the focus of political leaders?
I think last election we all felt we were in the focus with student tuition fees. EMA Conservatives were very keen on keeping, which we've both seen sort of just gone. I think in a recession it's always, you know there's going to be cuts, but you would hope that some of the main principles that they got to get young people's votes would be kept in, and I think we felt very sidetracked. So it's very hard to trust what most political figures are saying. We have to take everything with a pinch of salt, as do most electorates. But I think with the individual registration, I think his grievance is not that there is individual registration, because it was a Labour policy as well, but it got brought in and there was no sort of plan to make schools do it. Like in Northern Ireland, schools have a massive responsibility to make sure their pupils register to vote. And it gives you that sort of gateway when you're talking about registration to then talk about wider politics and what politics actually is.
And what about lowering the voting age? Are you both in favour of that or not?
I think anything to get young people involved, but again, it goes back to education. You could lower the voting age to 16, but if they still don't know how to be an informed citizen, if they still don't know how to create impact, what is the point? It needs to go hand in hand. You know, if you lower the voting age, you need to improve political literacy and citizenship.
I wonder, because a lot of people, and obviously a lot of people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s don't bother to turn out and vote, I mean, particularly in local elections. How important is it going to be for you two this year, looking forward to the general election, actually thinking, do you know what, I am going to get involved in this. I am, you know, whatever the outcome turns out to be, I'm going to make sure my voice is heard.
I think definitely this year I really want to get involved and get other young people involved. Things like February 5th, there's National Voter Registration Day. I think that would be very big for young people because a lot of young people haven't registered themselves before. so it'll be the first time they register themselves from head of household. So I think things like that, and I think one of the things that we'll look at as young people is what parties are actually just trying to get us engaged and registered, and what parties are just saying, vote for us. Because I think that made a big difference in the Scottish referendum. Is a lot of people, even if they didn't vote yes, they're saying on Stand Up Be Counted, look, these people are actually getting us registered, and they seem much more genuine, and some people were persuaded by that.
Let's remember as well that voting is, or politics is more than just voting. You know, what would you rather have? A young person engaged in their community is giving money to charity, petitioning, or someone that sits on their hands and every 4 years, you know, submits a ballot paper? So I think that people need to be educated on, you know, obviously we want more people voting, but at the same time there is a lot more to politics than just that.
I think you two could be running the country. That's the way you're talking. Brilliant. Lovely. Guys, thank you very much. Great to talk to you. If you want to get involved yourself, you can do, of course. Go to skynews.com, stand up, be counted. It's see on Twitter, @Sky, SUBC. I mean, it's all there for you. Get in touch, get involved, and let us know what you think. And all the blogs and things that you post on the website, we put them all out on Twitter as well, so you can see what other people think in your same age group. And it's all good stuff as well, as you saw.